Okay, what is that?
All the expensive Pasadena snacks.
Yeah, I got Pasadena snacks. Becky's eating it now before Passover. It's like $25 a chocolate turtle or lolicone, and Becky took them out of the house and said, "Oh, I'm going to bring these to Philly," and just started eating them. I'm like, that's a $7 chocolate turtle cashew cluster.
I got to tell you, they taste way better
than when we were kids?
Passover when you're deprived of delicious food.
Yeah, because that's the whole point of those. That's why I
taste very sandy.
So aggravated.
The chiropractor was like,
not worth it.
In this Jewish holiday, what food are you most excited for? I was like, none of it. Do you know what holiday this is?
Matzah bread is the best.
Potatoes?
I'd rather eat a
I love a little charoset and...
You love Passover foods.
I do. I love a little charoset and maror sandwich.
I was like, it's not my holiday food, but my brother loves it. That's literally what I said.
I associate it with the most, like the best family, like vacation times. Like,
don't you feel like if we should be celebrating being free, we shouldn't have to eat matzah? I'm like, no, there's no
legitimate Jewish holiday where you're not breaking the glass. You're always breaking the glass. I watched my wedding video yesterday. You're always breaking the glass. There's no like.
What's it called? The bread of affliction. That's what it's called. The bread of affliction.
I mean, you don't have to eat matzah the whole time. Like, I mean, like,
I love when people are like, I love matzah. I'm like, bread of affliction. It is an affliction.
Yeah, I mean, matzah pizza is amazing. It's just like thin crust pizza for.
You know what?
I'll give you that
matzah.
I love a good egg. I love a good egg matzah with margarine.
All right. I'm gonna start the show. We'll talk a little bit about it. Okay.
Egg matzah with margarine.
Here we are, and welcome to a familial episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. We've been giving you all just great family sibling episodes. By the time this one drops, you'll have heard the prequel episode, which is one Lily and I recorded a long time ago, which is just Becky and me.
Great.
I mean, sorry, it's just Lily and me talking about all of the movies that came out in the time.
But it's fine because I feel like this episode is me being at your guys' podcast. I'm looking at the notes. I have not a single thing written, and it's just the two of you. So I feel like, thank you.
I didn't write anything either. Guys. I had to use voice to text because I'm recovering from shoulder surgery.
Hey, Shai, how are you feeling?
Very uncomfortable, but I have to say, you know what? When you have a great surgeon, Dr. Maurice Hovet at Atlanta Bone and Joint in Atlanta, you get good results. Like, to be honest, as far as like uncomfortable after surgery, this is the least I've ever been uncomfortable after surgery. But also you get better when you get older, right? Like just my whole post-surgery strategy was informed by years of our family having surgery.
You know,
especially you forgot sweatpants. How I feel really
no. But here's the thing: we had South by Southwest first.
Surgery, Shai. I worry about you.
That was funny that when I sent the picture after surgery, everyone was like, "You wore jeans?" I'm like, I don't know, but but the thing is that when you're traveling in the United States, especially like me, I know how to get Amazon stuff and Uber Eats stuff to my house. Like we were staying at the cruise house, and like I needed regular Tylenol. Like they didn't have the regular Tylenol I wanted. So while I was talking to Danielle, I just Uber Eats from a CVS to her house. She's like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, I have no
liaise. But what I do find impressive is that even though you're very limited in your ability to type and use your phone and type anything out, your ordering abilities are not lacking. Like there is, I'm not going to say the cost. Let's just say there are many, many piles of Passover, we'll call them in air quotes, treats that you have ordered.
Look, the desserts around Passover are really important because they mean a lot. Because
I don't mean to point anything out, but I did notice that you did not order the chocolate covered marshmallows.
No, I did. But the thing with ordering Passover treats is they're if you don't order them 2 months in advance, which I didn't order them 2 months in advance, I ordered 1 month in advance, the arrival time you get from what I thought was Israel is actually Bayonne, New Jersey, is either...
But maybe they get...
Israel of the United States.
Either the day before Passover starts or next year. Those are the arrival. So this year, the Malamars, I think that's what they're called or whatever they are, those are the ones that have the most like unlikely to appear. But I ordered so I got the fruit slices on time, got the cashew.
Well, it's the only ones your son can eat, Lily.
The cashew.
Shouldn't these all be parros? Shouldn't these all be parros?
No, chocolate's amazing.
These are Miltic.
Yeah, but then you can't eat. Like, you have to be really careful about what Seder food you're eating. I just feel like everything should be parros.
Seder food. What are you're waiting an hour to 3 hours before you go swimming and have a different course?
Well, I'm just saying the people that aren't eating.
Lily, do you know what the second half of the Seder? Just do a Chad Miodea, and you have more than enough time before the table to be kosher again.
Okay, guys, I've been going to a lot of Chabad stuff. Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah, she's becoming like our little baby Chabadnik over there. You can become Balchuga.
Yeah.
You're gonna like return.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, they had like there was a whole thing at the they're awesome. There's a whole thing at the last Shabbat I went to about like, so they're lovely, and we went to Shabbat dinner and they served like a whole fish meal, like fish, like salmon and everything. And I was like, no, like
I don't think that's
like
the part. That's the point of the story. Shai. I think it just said it was a fish,
and then right, and then after the fish, the rabbi's like, "Oh, you ready for soup?" And I was like, "You guys have soup for dessert at Chabad? This is weird." And he was like, "No, this was the fish course." He's like, "Then it's soup, and then the chicken." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yes, because you have to have the fish before the meat." I was like,
you can't have it with the meat. It's neither milk nor dairy, but you can't have it with either one. I learned that at a Chabad house too. I learned that at
no surf and turf, huh?
I was like, "No offense, but now you're just adding rules." I was like, "This shit is made up." I was like, "That makes no sense." And he was like, "Do you not have the gefilte fish before the soup at Passover?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't remember right now."
I always thought that was because you went from cold to hot. I didn't realize that was because of the separating.
Very good point, but I'll get back to you.
I do realize though that is the truth.
Order.
The first thing out after the egg
fish.
Is the
fish.
But I just thought that was to honor mom's gefilte fish.
No, I thought it's because it would be awkward for your palate to go from a hot soup to a cold fish to a hot brisket. Like you would do cold and work your way up to warmer.
Becky, it's not a tasting menu.
In my mind, that's why it was.
Well, I don't know. Becky's encouraged the amuse bouche this year. Apparently, we're going to be having quail eggs instead of. Mom somehow thought that was going to be less.
You know what? I have to say, who could eat a whole egg at a Seder? Like,
you're right. There's a lot of like yellow water floting around.
But then you're not the one that has to clean it. Yeah, poor Edna picking up all those little cups of it.
But it's like an entire egg. That's a breakfast. I'm supposed to start a meal with a whole egg. Really what I had for breakfast. I'm on the quail out. I just need like a tiny egg. You know, like a little egg. I like that bandwagon.
It's like $9 an egg. It's almost as much as the individual lolly cones.
So it's the same cost of these Passover turtles.
So you get this huge cardboard box of the lolly cones, which are, chocolate lollipops, but they're really just a piece of chocolate with a stick in it. Yes. And there's 4 in the whole box. The box is like $15.
Yeah, it's such a ripoff. You could literally make these at home.
Anyways, so Becky, rightly, because I did get for both of our houses, because once you're ordering, you just got to order, because there's no second order. Because if in the tiny Passover section in your supermarket, they happen to have anything edible after the first day of Passover, you're not going to be able to get, there's no lolly cones left.
No.
There's only raspberry covered in raspberry jelly jams covered in dark chocolate, which I got a box of those just to teach our kids a lesson. They're going to be like, "Ooh, can I have this?"
Exactly.
So
speaking of kids,
so Passover is like one of my favorite holiday of the year, because I have such great memories of all of us being together and coming home. There's that feeling of coming home. We'd go back to Philly and we'd see the family and you'd watch 10 Commandments. And that led me to the theme of today's episode, which is watching with my family. Like there's that movie Fighting with My Family, watching with my family. It's a big thing for us. But our families have grown. We have a next generation of TV watchers. We've brought in new members of the family. Some of them are foreign and like to sing opening theme songs. What are the shows we watch with our families? But let's start with spouses. Allie and Jose I've been married for 15 years as of
Mazel tov, as of yesterday.
Happy anniversary to my wife. But Allie and Jose have been in the family about the same amount of time. Lily, what are the things you and Jose watch together?
Or Lily, do you need time since you didn't fill out the outline?
I don't need time because I know the answers. I will be the quickest on this project. Big issue that separates my family and Shai's family and a little bit Becky's is there is very little, and I mean a 0.0% rewatch ratio in my house.
Oh, you don't rewatch?
My family does not rewatch.
Wow.
Like anything?
Anything ever is never rewatched. The only thing that is the first time has ever been rewatched, and it was thanks to my second child.
Was it El Falcon, that movie we watched?
No, that movie can only be watched one time, and then the DVD burns. It's like it combusts.
That's over the top.
No,
in Spanish, in Spain.
Stallone. The only thing that's ever been rewatched in my house was Beauty and the Beast. Like I think I already saw that twice, and then with the new addition of my child. The Spider-Verse movie, which I think we've seen 1,000 times. There has never been any other rewatch. Jose and I have never rewatched something together. He's never seen something twice, except for Over the Top. And so I saw it as a kid and we watched that with Shai. So that is a huge difference between my family and yours, where you guys go back to like Parks and Rec, like so many shows you guys go back to.
My kids have embraced rewatching so much that it's even too much for me. But like I'm impressed with them also. Like I both get annoyed that I'm like, are you guys watching? Ghost has only been on for 2 seasons. They've seen every episode 30 times. They're keeping that show on the air. I mean, people are watching it, but they keep going into the Paramount Plus app. Like my kids are the ones driving that app's viewers.
Interesting.
But at the same time, I begrudgingly admire it. I'm like, I love that you guys like a cool show this much.
So in my house, it's a one and done situation, and it's fine because it's all serial killers and like terribly haunting, awful shows that I have to watch with my husband. So I don't want to rewatch those. Do you know what I mean? So if we're talking about like with spouses, it's like, the most, what are the most like murdery, suspenseful, shows, but he does love, we do love together. We'll meet in the middle for like a Bosch, like a great detective show. Jack Ryan, is it Jack Ryan show? What's the one?
No, Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher.
Jack Ryan, I don't know if that's that good. I mean, it's okay, but Jack Reacher.
But Reacher's the one that we, loved. The Boys, and big time Succession fans. So excited for the next season, which is coming out any day now. And so, it's one and done.
But one thing that you do a lot, though, I've heard in your house is, and there's few things as good as this, is that your husband sings the opening theme songs.
He gets emotionally attached to an opening theme song, will hum it and sing it all day, make up his own words to it because he doesn't understand the words that are actually being sung. And it'll become, while we're watching that show, it'll become an anthem in our household.
Got a feeling and I can't let go. Right? That's go. And he does his extra parts because I've watched Bosch with him and he has a whole other melody line and like backup vocals that he does that are not in the song.
Loves a good opening song. He'll do the finger movements.
What does he do for White Lotus?
There's no words in that.
Does he make up words or does he just go?
Yeah, I guess, but I think if there's no words, he's less as inclined. It's me who really likes that one because of the wallpaper. I'm the one that gets into that one. But that's different. He'll then do it with the kids. So Paw Patrol, he'll make up his own words, and that's a show that's a good rewatch in our house, Paw Patrol, and he'll sing it. And I heard the little one, our 2-year-old Asher, singing the Paw Patrol theme song, but Jose says fake words yesterday. And Jose was like, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of him. Theme songs are a really big deal. So it's special.
That is amazing. Becky, how about you? What are
Okay, so we
you
have
some very specific ones with the spouse.
We have 3 categories with Vlad. We have
climbing documentaries.
We have the original watch, which is like a show that we are sitting down, or a movie that we're sitting down and watching for the first time together. Right now, that show is Party Down, the new season of Party Down. We're both huge fans of it. I have to tell you, every week, it's hard to imagine that each episode could get better, but somehow each episode gets better and better and better.
Season 3 is fantastic. And I
How
didn't even notice
than the original?
I don't even know.
Good.
It's as good.
Definitely as good.
But
if anything, it's like a little
gets
more optimistic. Like it's a little more. They've softened a little bit, like in a good way.
They just pick up where they left off, like the same characters as if they had age.
No, with a 10-year gap.
No, with like a gap.
But the gap is respected. Like it's 10 years later.
Oh yeah. That's part of the bit.
It takes place today. Yeah, it's part of the whole bit.
That's great.
So that's like what we sit down. We sit down ready. We're going to be like sitting there, ready to go. We're watching it together fully, paying attention. Then we have, and that's like new stuff. And right now it's Party Down. Then there's another category of shows, which is shows that we, in air quotes, watch together. And it's and it's more that he'll sit next to me while I watch something. So I'm watching shows and he's sitting next to me with his noise canceling headphones on, doing something else.
That's an interesting category.
Like maybe he's working on some storyboards or researching something, or maybe he's like even watching some like boring YouTube clips about like gardening or building bicycles or something I don't care about.
I've seen him just watch nature scenes. It's just a babbling brook.
It's a babbling brook. And so like right now that's Mandalorian. And I would say Mandalorian is the one that he's like watching next to me while I watch it.
Everybody's watching other videos while they watch that show.
I thought, by the way, dude, are you caught up? I thought the most recent episode was
No, I only actually saw the first one, but and then Ted Lasso, which is he'll like come in and out of it. So he's sort of not watching, and then I'll laugh at something and be like, wait, what happened? Rewind it. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's
You're either in or you're out.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So he's in and out of that one. He's an unreliable source. And then we have a third category, which is a constant in our house. So I'll just tell you what we've done in the last, let's say, week, which is our rewatch We're a heavy rewatch family.
They're secret rewatchers. You like hang out at their house and then you like talk to them the next day and they're like, oh, we rewatched blank movie last night.
Yeah. But really specifically, Vlad and I love to rewatch movies, preferably from the 90s.
I mean,
like we go through different
that's a great
phases.
Answer.
We go through different eras.
That's
but it's
the right answer.
The 90s is really what we rewatch the movies of our childhood. So just in the last, I'm going to say,
but together, like you will sit down together and put something on you've seen before.
It's more like one of us will put it on and be doing like and have it on. The other one will be like, oh wait, what's going on there? And then come sit down and we'll watch it together.
But that part of that is that Vlad, who has very discerning taste, like because the 90s is when he met Western culture, it's like discovering, the automobile, or you know what I mean? Like it's such a major discovery for him.
I mean, but there's also this weird intersect of Becky and Vlad that is James Cameron. Like he's like
I've never met two people
part
who love
of
James
their
Cameron.
love story.
Oh my God, we love James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger are like two really big things I know, but James Cameron's like a really big one for us. So just the last week,
two very highbrow people.
We rewatched. You'll see some like themes. So first we watched The Matrix, and then we rewatched Point Break, original Point Break, obviously. So we did like a little bit of a Keanu arc
classic
there.
Keanu.
Right.
And I have to tell you, rewatching Point Break, which I have, again, I've rewatched it in the past few years. It's in our rotation. It's so good. Catherine Bigelow is so good. I could teach a class on that movie, or I could sit through a class on that movie. I don't think I could teach it. It is so freaking
You
good.
probably could teach it.
It's amazing. And then we rewatched the original, the first Terminator, not Judgment Day, but like first Terminator.
So what's the original one? This is
really
I've
not.
Only, Terminator 2 is the only Terminator that exists.
And then inspired by, something we'll discuss later, Vlad and I started to rewatch True Lies. So we did like an Arnold back-to-back nights. We started to rewatch True Lies.
Separation here.
But then we paused True Lies partway through because he was so excited watching it. He's like, no, we need to wait and rewatch it when we're all together with your siblings.
He's planning a movie night for all of us at Becky's house.
So we can.
Last time our movie night was The Fabelmans. This time it's going to be True Lies, which incidentally, no HD version of this movie exists. Becky and Vlad went down the rabbit hole looking for this. I was blown away. James Cameron has never released
Curtis just won an Oscar.
He's never released a Blu-ray. You can't
but it's a classic.
But you can't even buy it digitally now. Not even on Vudu.
But like if you go to Apple Plus, it's not available in HD?
Nowhere.
Nope. Doesn't exist.
Is he secretly embarrassed about this movie?
No,
I know a lot about
in interviews he said he's like, oh no, they made the Blu-ray, but I haven't reviewed it yet. I think he's just like very meticulous. But you'd think he would have had it ready for the show that's out. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's in our
there's a show.
That's
I
what
feel like I was
doing.
busy for 1 week and I have no idea what's going on.
So with my spouse, we know she's very confusing, right?
There's no rules. You can spend your life like. What are things that people spend their life trying to understand? Kabbalah. What else? Like Allie's tastes in
the best
shows.
Is she also always quotes to me some other pop culture podcast that she listens to.
That's like, the best.
Just like, have you heard? I'm like, oh my God.
Have my own.
So Allie, though, so the things we watch together, Allie and I will go through phases where we watch some stuff together and then we kind of like see other shows and then we come back. But I have to have a roster of shows that I am constantly engaging because I'll watch so much. Like Allie also is more of a saver. Like she can binge maybe 2 episodes in a night, but like I could knock off a whole show in a day if I needed to, right? Allie is like, no, we're going to watch 1. Maybe 2. Like if we're lucky, maybe we'll watch back to back. Back to back. There's certain shows that, back to back. Like The Bear, we watched 2 at a time because like that was, everyone.
I think I watched The Bear on one flight.
Becky and I watched together
The Bear is amazing.
On one flight from Tenerife to New York, I watched the entire season.
The Bear's like the opposite of The Irishman. It's the show that should have been a long movie that I would have watched double the length of
Absolutely.
as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So with Allie, she generally doesn't like stress like the things we watch together. Like she watches a lot of hilarious schlock like John B. What's that one? OBX. Like Allie's on the 3rd season of OBX. I said the moment they left OBX to the Bahamas or wherever, I was out.
Outer Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Outer Banks. But so she watches a lot of that and some Kardashians and things like that. But of what we watch together, Allie in general doesn't want to watch super stressful things. So
is that true though?
Well, so she bailed out of Party Down right away. She really wanted to watch it. Yeah, it was too cringy for her. I actually think of the 3 seasons,
it's the least cringy.
It's the most optimistic.
Cringy.
Not cringy like the remake, just the actual show itself.
Ken
the 3rd
Marino
season. No, she loved the first 2 seasons, but
Ken Marino is the heart of that show. And
why is it cringy?
Because the terrible things that happen to Ken Marino, I think, really do her in. But at this
point,
he's
so optimistic,
and he's so much more likable in this iteration of the show. You're really rooting for him.
Just get her to watch the episode when he gets food poisoning. I don't know.
Oh my God, I watched that last night.
Really?
Allie was asleep. Like I couldn't sleep.
That has one of the.
I was laughing so hard.
That is a Hall of Famer diarrhea scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like you think to yourself,
had me at
how could anybody at this stage reinvent the diarrhea scene? That's not possible.
Yeah,
it's all been done.
Well, because Because you know what? They built that one. It was like Shakespearean storytelling.
Stars.
Where can people
on Stars?
see it?
On Stars. Mom and Dad definitely have Stars because of Outlander, so I'm sure you can watch it at their place.
Yeah, exactly. Just
although
find
then
someone who has
again,
Outlander.
they don't subscribe to anything because they just use our account.
And by our accounts, we've now really zeroed in on mostly mine.
Shai.
Dad's called me twice in the last 2 days. One was a butt dial.
Okay.
The other was for passwords.
So I hooked them up.
So Ted Lasso has been big for Allie because it is like a big warm hug. Season 3,
really
I think season 3 I've enjoyed because I feel like it's focused mostly on the part of the show that I like. Yeah, they're 3 episodes in. And what I like about it is that I'm getting the parts of the show that I really like, which is really good.
I agree.
Can I? Oh, you're not done.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
But Becky really touched on something, and so have you, Shai, about this sort of like the rules of engagement in everybody's house. And, I'm realizing that like it's a very personal thing. Jose he'll watch something with me, but like with our tea ceremony, we always make a tea and like a piece of chocolate, and we'll sit at night and watch. He's not watching TV otherwise. He'll watch surf videos or something. And so if I'm like, I'm going to go to bed early, or I got to work, or I got to like, he takes it personally because like then he can't watch his show. He has no other shows. And so whereas I always, you got to have like a few things on the burner, right? You're always working a bunch of different shows at the same time. You got to make sure you got something you can watch by yourself. And he doesn't have that. So it's like a very personal thing. When I watched The Offer, I started it with him, but then finished without him. He's still talking about it. Like, I mean, it's a very...
that was one of the things, Allie, that one was one we watched 2 episodes at a time. Like that one, she loved every minute of it. Yeah. Loved it because Allie does like things. So Shrinking, Allie I think we both liked it the same amount. We both liked it.
I liked it.
Fleischman in Trouble, I think we both liked the same amount.
It's the saddest show I've ever seen. And
Fleischman?
I just finished it. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was so sad, but very accurate. Weird.
But then Allie likes things that are also like if she's going to have violence, there must be at least 25% of like buns and sex marketed at suburban married women. So like Sons of Anarchy, right? Like needed to see Charlie Hunnam buns a couple of times a season, and then she could do with the murder, right? Mm-hmm. Like Allie likes the show Sex Life, the one on
that's
Netflix.
Just for housewives, sure.
That that I don't watch with her.
But you would never watch that with her. You would never
because
watch
that's
that.
real. That is the plot of that show. That show is hard to watch for me. I'm not interested. I want to break down Succession for a second because in general,
oh my God, I fucking love that show.
Like watching suburban people whose life should be happy, where I'm just like, look, get a therapist and like work your stuff out. Right. Whereas Fleischman, I was into it because of how real it was and how personal it was because it was from our world. I think I really liked it. And the acting was off the charts, but like Fleischman in Trouble, I'm going to watch one of those a year. It's not my genre.
That's not my MO. Yeah, agreed.
Like rich people being miserable. Again, I somehow White Lotus is able to get me, and Succession gets me. Why?
Because neither one of those are really about rich people being miserable.
Well, they're about people being miserable.
There are, right.
Like true people. Like they're people.
But Succession has a dialogue and a relationship dynamic that's fascinating. Same with White Lotus. They could be from any place. The fact that the way they interact with each other and the different awkward dynamics in White Lotus and the different potential scenes and the stakes in Succession are just so well done. It doesn't matter, that they should be complaining.
So Succession's another one Allie and I love, and
love that show.
The first episode of this new season,
is it out?
I adored it. I thought it was so cool.
I get busy.
I thought it was so cool. I just thought it was, if this is the last season, I'm like, great. I feel like we're focused on all the right things.
Mm-hmm. It is the last season.
So that's for my spouses. Okay. But now this new dynamic has emerged because I have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old who have, by the way, my kids, I think they are really fun to watch TV with. They have pretty good taste.
I've seen some Bob's Burgers with them.
Bob's Burgers is like, that's when I told you show to
how much.
I told you show for
I do appreciate how much your kids love explaining stuff to me when we watch shows
Because
together.
we explain stuff to them and it drives them nuts, and then they learn to do it to other people. It's something you just passed down. Anyways, and Lily, you love an explanation. I have family stuff now. But you have younger kids, but I do admire Becky is amazing at getting her kids into stuff. Like Becky is like a black belt.
I mean, I had a
break this down for us.
I had a huge win this week. So
I don't know how she does it. My kids won't watch anything I want them to watch.
So when you go to the Disney Plus channel, my little icon that I chose for myself
is it red?
No, I've updated
Isn't it red?
I got my own subscription. I'm not using Shai's anymore.
That's crazy.
So
I find
there's still a Cooperman's profile in mine.
We still have Cooperman's, but we got our own. Well, it was because you know what happened? I'm very, very impatient, and we got logged out somehow, and I couldn't be bothered to try and like get Shai's password. I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to get my own. It's enough of this, Mishigas. And so now my new icon is Natiri, the avatar, like Zoe Saldana in Avatar. She's now my icon.
Lily has no idea what you're talking about. And you saw
the blue lady. The blue lady. Yeah. The main lady.
I thought she was going to die. Spoiler alert, she doesn't.
And so now every time we log in, they like see this avatar person. She's been asking me, Mommy, what's that? What's Avatar? What's the avatar? Who's the avatar? Can I see that? And then you log in and they have all these pictures of the avatar. And like, what's the avatar?
You should put a sinking ship so they can be like, what boat is that? When did that sink? And you can get them to watch your other favorite movie, Titanic.
But I feel like I've learned, I haven't seen Titanic since high school, but I feel like I can't watch it again because I loved it so much in high school that it would be like too emotional to rewatch, Like I can't go down that road again. It took a long time to pull myself out of that Titanic obsession. I love James Cameron. So anyway, so then, but taking advice from Shai or modeling from Shai, I explain the story to her while also curating specifically which scenes she's going to see. So I only show her the most fun scenes, and then I cut it off and then I let her watch like a little bit of something dangerous that's happening. And I'm like, oh, sorry, we have to turn it off now. So the intrigue is just driving her insane. She wants to know what happens next. So I've now shown her some of like the key Avatar scenes where Jake Sully is learning to become a Na'vi and he's doing all his training. And then when he gets his Ikran, which is his dragon, for the first time. So we've been watching that over and over again.
You know all these words.
I know. I know a lot. I know a lot about it. And so now she like loves it. We're waiting for when Way of Water comes out on streaming so we can watch all the underwater scenes because we've been talking a lot about that. You didn't show her
the whole thing just because it's too long or what?
Well, it's also like not really appropriate for children. There's like, it's not really appropriate for a 5-year-old. So I'm just curating the best scenes in the forest that, of like them, like all the avatars being together before all like the horrible stuff happens. But I've shown her some of the.
Becky's kids love the
stuff.
Crazy.
She really likes like the scary people stuff as well. She's really into it. Sunny's having a harder time with it, so I've steered away. And this morning she gets herself dressed from school and she has made for herself out of pipe cleaners. This like. It's like pipe cleaners attached like loops, a braid, an avatar braid for herself that she wore on her head. It's like a crown.
That's amazing.
Then these avatar loops that go all the way down. So
when she showed that to me on FaceTime this morning, I was like, "Oh, I don't watch that cartoon, Mary. I don't know what you're talking about."
No, the blue people. And then this morning, she puts on her avatar crown and she's running around the living room saying, "I need to ride my Ikran. I'm going to bond with my Ikran. I'm riding an Ikran." Like,
I can't wait. Done well. I mean, all I want is now a cat's avatar.
Well, Cats was like, basically what happens is as soon as her brain latches onto something, she gets excited. I just go to the max.
So the real question is, what are we going to watch when the next time we're all together? What are we watching?
I'll say this. My kids have a series of shows that they're into right now that are very easy to drop into. Okay. Mm-hmm. they really like, I think these are all in some ways not all of these. Well, So Help Me Todd on Paramount Plus. That one is with Skylar Ashton Lipstein and Oscar winner, multiple Oscar winner.
No, she just
Merciful nominee, but Oscar winner Marcia Gay Harden, about a mom and her son solving mysteries together. And that show is like definitely a top family show for us. And I think like I admire CBS. This can't be they're paying Marcia Gay Harden probably a lot of money, but overall, probably like a pretty expensive show. Every scene is in an office. There's no like expensive shots. But it's really fun. And it's really fun to watch as a family. And it's a nice way to get my kids into murder mysteries, like the way Psych gets them into murder mysteries without it being, like
murdery.
Yeah. It's like a very nice
like,
light law legal show.
Right. But not like Law and Order, SVU.
Exactly.
Right.
And
criminal intent, Criminal Minds.
And so there's that. They love
NCIS.
Ghosts. My kids just love the drama between the different ghosts on the American Ghosts, like all the relationships. They update me all the time. Do you know this one? And they love Asher Grodman, who plays the Jewish guy, Tyler Lefkowitz, I think is his name on the show.
That's a great name, Asher.
And he is a wonderful character. Asher Grodman is fantastic. They're digging American Auto, which was one of those ones where I'm like, just watch one episode. And then I came back and they already watched through the second season without me. I'm like, hey guys, now we have to rewatch.
Wow, they're so efficient.
Yeah. And then Animal Control is pretty delightful.
Is that funny? The guy from Community? Or something?
I'm not super into him, but the supporting cast is really lovable, including Vella Lavelle, who played Heather on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh,
she plays a really, really sweet character. And then there's the main guy, I don't remember the name of the actor, but the character Shred is like the almost Andy Samberg. He's like a non-Jewish Andy Samberg character because he's a snowboard champion. Anyways, that show's great. And then they're always watching Parks and Rec just over and over and over again. And then they watch, but the ones that they've watched to the point where I can't watch them anymore, even though I love Bob's Burgers, I can't watch it anymore because they have watched
You're done.
I mean, like, it's such a good show, but at this point, if it's not a favorite episode of mine, I just can't. They watch it so much. And then the other one that they watched that I think is so cool and creative and smart, but again, they watched it too many times, is Gravity Falls, like all the way through multiple times.
Gravity Falls, we're still not sick of. We still do a lot of Gravity Falls in our house.
Yeah, same.
And I mean, basically with my kids, with my older one, she just, she is such a Corman. She just consumes. She wants to watch everything. I could list her shows, but be like, listing your kids' shows. There's like 100 shows that she watches. But can you hear their tiny little voices in the background? Right now, they're screaming in the background. But right now, Cats, the musical Cats, Avatar seem to be our top choices.
Lily, what do you watch with your kids, and how much Transformers do you have to watch?
My
favorite thing is all the things Lily has to watch that her kids are things that I watched.
I'm gonna like.
What about all the weird things I've become an expert on because of my kids?
I'm gonna just say that I don't sit and watch that much with them. I usually use the TV time as an opportunity to do something else, but I'll drop in and out. I would say that like Into the Spider-Verse is the biggest thing that we watch together now, the three of us, like me and the kids, because my husband definitely does not sit down for that.
We do a lot of Spider-Verse.
A Spider-Verse.
Which are their favorite?
Spidey
Spider-Man
and Friends.
or Spider-Person?
Spidey, yeah. You know what? Our two littles are going to have a great time over Passover because Spidey and his amazing friends.
Spidey and his amazing friends. When are they? I need you to find out when they're releasing another season of that. That is also something that's been rewatched endlessly. And there's the Spidey shorts, the Spidey and the Amazing Friends. That they did such a good job with that show. Kids love it.
When I was a kid, Spidey and his Amazing Friends was Spider-Man, Iceman, and a woman character they made up called Firestar that had fire powers because they didn't want to have the Human Torch.
No, in this verse of the Spider-Man metaverse, Spidey, Ghost Spider, who's Gwen, Miles, who's Spin, and Peter, who's Spidey, are like kids. They're a team. They're a trio of Spideys that fight miniature versions of all the bad guys, like a miniature Green Goblin.
Gobby, like who they call Gobby.
Gobby.
Is it like Teen Titans Go and that it's like
No,
self-aware
it's
funny?
not.
No, it's a kid's show.
No,
It's
it's
a
like a
kid's
kid.
show.
It's like
Yeah.
instead of being whatever 16 years old, they're like 10 in this.
Teen
version.
Titans Go is like extremely smart. It's like Muppet Babies.
Yeah, I would say the shows that I watch with Ari would be, I love Teen Titans Go. That's a good one. And Gravity Falls, I don't understand that show. It stresses me out, but he loves it.
Gravity Falls is like the Twin Peaks of kids cartoons. It
Yeah.
is
Totally.
extremely complicated. Or
can I
X-Files.
tell you, you two will really appreciate this. Recently, so I have this thing with Miri that at a certain point, I go, no, you have to watch a learning show. It's got to be like a Magic
that's
School
nice.
Bus. Or
You got to
Magic
watch that
School
one that
Bus or
Lily, the
something.
one that's all about animal butts that Lily sent me.
I love that one.
Lily,
It's
what was that
such
called?
a good
Secret
show.
Planet? Scandalous Planet? I don't know. The first
the
episode,
weirdest planet.
the first
Oh my God,
episode
it's
was just
narrated-
eels putting things in worms' butts, and then the second episode
Ew.
just
It's
started with
so
animals having
good.
sex, and my kids were like,
No.
"Please change it."
No,
Okay,
it's so good.
so
It's narrated by Mother Nature. It's on Netflix.
I was thinking more like Storybots or Magic School Bus. And Miri has come up with this argument for me as to why Gravity Falls is in fact a learning show. She has a twofold argument. The first argument is that when there will be a zombie apocalypse, she will be the only one that knows how to fight them. She will be the only one that knows how to fight all the supernatural beings. The second one is she likes to explain to me that what the show is really about, it's about a brother and sister who love each other and take care of each other and protect each other no matter what.
That's correct.
And so if she continues to watch the show, she will learn how to protect her little sister and take care of her. And so all I can say is
that's a good case for that.
If
That
she
is good.
becomes a lawyer, don't be surprised.
Adjourned.
And I'm
Good
like,
done.
Okay,
you've
Lily,
lawyered me.
Lily, take us home with, since these were all essentially our recs, take us home with just, you have landed on Mom and Dad. What are you watching with Mom / Dad is what? Well, maybe Dad's just watching
I have
Australian TV.
we haven't.
Is he pulling a Vlad? He's just watching Acorn in the background?
We have probably, yeah, but we haven't. I just got here, so we haven't had much time to watch something. I will say that I did try to put something on at Mom and Dad's. Mom simultaneously just spoke to me, just going, "Is this how it's going to be the whole time? This movie? Is this what this movie is going to be like?" While Dad vacuumed the kitchen drawers. So since their living room is inside, like an open kitchen situation, I couldn't watch anything at all. So I don't know.
That is their move. Oh, you're watching a show? I'm going to grind some coffee.
Exactly.
All right.
But I will wreck The Calling. I think I said it last time.
Oh,
The Calling. Is that Peacock, Paramount? I don't know the difference.
The Calling's on Peacock. I mean, you can.
Yeah, it's a great
bonus
really
rack.
Cool. I'm going to
Shai.
get Mom to watch that. Mm-hmm.
We have to give our bonus track.
Oh yeah, bonus
I
track.
didn't know
We had
this
a
thing
watch party the
existed.
other night. That's okay. It might not exist very long.
Oh,
Unless Becky gets her act together and watches it multiple times.
I'll do my best. Wait, so our bonus
We had a watch
one,
party the other night.
Yeah, we had everyone over to watch the first episode of the new TV series of True Lies, starring, I don't know these actors' names, but Kevin from Shameless and
I believe it's Steve Howie.
And the paralegal best friend
Ginger
on
Gonzaga.
Ginger Gonzaga on
She's
She-Hulk.
Great.
She's fantastic. Anyways, they're adorable. It's fantastic. We loved it. I mean, Vlad and I were both like, I think we're going to keep watching this.
I hope it, I read that it has really bad ratings.
Beverly D'Angelo.
It's so adorable.
I read that it has bad ratings and it got bad reviews. And the bad reviews made no sense to me because they were just strange considering the things that end up hits on. The good thing is that on CBS things end up hits without worrying about critical acclaim, which is something I really respect. Like, I'm not into the Big Bang Theory, but I respect that they just went by what people were watching and they kept the show on.
And I hope people are watching it because I feel like it delivers in the first episode. It gives you everything you would want.
There's a lot in that show. They can have a lot of fun with that show. They could have a lot of fun with that show. If they commit to that show, I think it will be really good. I think the issue with that show versus the So Help Me Todd is that show does not look cheap to make because they had like a helicopter stunt in the first episode. Like
shenanigans happening.
But there was, so after we watched the TV show, we went and started watching the movie again. And there are so many wonderful little references in that first episode to the movie. Like, you remember that there's just so many things where you remember in the first episode where they crash through the glass window of a restaurant and you're like, why didn't they just use the front door? And then we're rewatching the movie. You're like, oh, right, because he crashes through the glass window of a restaurant for no reason.
For exclusive True Lies fans, and there's no HD version where you can rewatch it.
So they basically this was made just for me and Vlad. I'm pretty sure
it's a good adaptation
for us. Yeah.
All right, Lily.
You can follow me at FNM Sisters on Instagram.
Becky, where can people follow you?
At FNM Sisters on Instagram.
And me at Pancake for a Table. All the Friday Night Movie fun at Friday Night Movie on socials or FridayNightMovie.com. Theme song is What Does It Eat? Happy Passover, everyone. You'll be mid-Passover. I hope you're having your favorite Passover treats. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
If not, Becky will come and take them from you.
You gave them to me. You don't get to give a gift to someone and then tell them when they can.
Did you order anything for Ari?
Yeah. Fruit slices.
No. There's no chocolate pops for him?
The chocolate pops are only the milk chocolate.
I don't have to bring them, Lil.
No, they make parv chocolate pops.
Wait for the parv ones. And then what about the macaroons you bought? Are any of those parv?
Maybe.
Probably. Oof,
who
they're
wants
so
to eat a macaroon?
The chocolate covered raspberry jelly.
I don't know. I definitely crave a Manischewitz macaroon.
Oh, and there's also
there's
also peppermint patties that are parv. All right.
Okay.
I love you guys.
All right. I love you guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following at Fry Night Movie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.